Stacy, Robert, hello. You guys get the manuscript paper I sent? I just sent it out about a half hour ago. I sent 100 pages. So whenever you need manuscript paper, just print it out. So if you're going to attempt to write the left-hand side of stick control in triplets, if you make some mistakes, you have plenty of paper. Okay. Any questions on this afternoon? Good. It's 100 pages of blank paper. All right. Let me start. I told you this afternoon that next week we're going to try to do all of the front of Morello's book. Now that's what you've been working on mostly, no, Stacy? With the levels, like line 1, in the beginning of the book, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Is that what some of the things that you're learning from Jeff? How you doing, Hoist? Get the Morello book out if you have it. I guess I'm going to have to write out all of these PDFs. Is that what you're working on, Stacy? Well, you sort of some of the things that you're working on. You have like, Robert, you have the Joe Morello book, no? Yeah, a variety of books, but when you're in the Morello book, did you learn this from the beginning, the first page? That's page 7. Now, let me go over a few of those lines, and I'm going to share with everybody just to get you in tune. Yeah, page 40 of the Morello book. We're not on there now. We're in the beginning. We're on page 7. Now, have you done that with Jeff yet? Robert, you have the Joe Morello book. Hoist, you have it? You got 1 and 11. That's in the beginning of the book. All right. Now, again, and if you ever, well, you can't do it anymore, but if you should have ever talked to Joe about this book, all he would say is it's an extension of stick control. From, I think, 5 to the end of the eighth notes, with the various sticking patterns with the accents, is just stick control book with the accents. That was how Accents and Rebounds was born. George Lawrence Stone wrote the stick control book. Joe Morello studied with George Lawrence Stone. And when Joe would go to his lesson, he'd take like line 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever and just start adding accents to it. And that was the giving birth to Accents and Rebounds. All right, you have the, all right, go to the page 7, number 1. And this is the way Joe, I'm gonna play the finished product first. Let me just do this. 3, 4. I'm gonna play the finished product. 4. Now you don't want to enter it that way. The way you want to do this, and this is the levels. The way you want to do this, take the line as quarter notes. For example, the first 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to break it down, okay? You look at the line, It's a 2-measure increment, but we're going to do it now in quarter notes so you have time to think. Who's this? All right. You have time to think. So the way Joe would teach this was in quarter notes. But now let me demonstrate this to you guys with the levels, breaking it down. I'm going to use full strokes, taps, and upstrokes. Okay? Now, you take the first 2 notes, 1 and 2 and. You have right, left, right, right. But the right and the left, the first two notes are accented. So I have to start here. My first stroke is a downstroke. So actually, this is my ending position as well. So the first stroke is a downstroke. I nailed the accent. My next stroke is a left-hand accent, but I have to do a free stroke. Why? Why do I have to do a free stroke here? Can you guys tell me that? Could you people tell me why that left is a free stroke or a full stroke? Robert, Stacy, Hoist, whoever else? All right, I'm just going to go ahead and teach it so you see it. There's a delay here. Okay. So you have your starting positions here. The first stroke is a downstroke. The next stroke is a left-hand free stroke. Now the reason why I did that, free stroke, all my next notes are rights, but my next left is going to be an accent. So I just did 1 and, now you have 2 is a tap, and is a tap, 3 and 4 and. I just ended it. But now I'm in the starting position. So now this time I start with my opposite hand. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Do we understand that? The reason why I had a free stroke, a downstroke, and taps and upstrokes? You got it, Robert? Bar 2 is the first and accent. What do you mean? On the first measure, it's not a bar. All right, a bar is a bar line which separates the measures. You have 2 measures, the first measure and the second measure. The first measure, the sticking, is right, left, right, 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 right. Now, the first 2 strokes are accented. You have a right-hand accent and a left-hand accent. So like I said, my starting position's here. My first right is a downstroke, 1. Why is that a downstroke? Well, look at the up-and-coming rights. They're all taps. So I have 1 and is a free stroke. That's allowing me to be in position already for the second measure. And now do it to the left side. Ah. Hey, Randy, you understand? All right, now, Robert is correct. Where's Robert? Absolutely, Robert. Good. Hello, Paul. We're in Joe Morello's book, page 7. Now, any questions? Now, what you want to do, like I said, you see the movement, you see a free stroke, a downstroke, a tap, an upstroke, and whatever. Before you move these to 8th notes or 16th notes, play them in quarter notes. Like I'll play the first right, left, right, right pattern, the first 4 notes. 1, and I'm going to think of it in quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I complete the measure. 1, 2, 3, up we go. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, yeah, you look like a robot. That's okay. But man, what these things do to your hands is unreal. You won't see it immediately. Okay, good, Jimmy. All right, so the way I would do, don't go to line 2 yet, unless you might as well do 1 through 5. Is that it? 5? Okay. So now you take the first line and you're doing it in quarter notes, right? And you hang out with it for a while. 1, 2. Listen to the sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Up we go. Always in position. Ah. Smack mat. 1. Ah. 1, 2, 3. Always in position to attack. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do it in quarters. Like I said to Seth the other day, you know, all these drummers, they want develop speed, which is good. I mean, that's an element of playing different tempos. Okay? Okay. Good for you, Paul. And I was explaining to him, you know, the reason for the levels. And he was in the Army. He was in the Airborne Division. I guess he had some martial arts and everything. So what I did was I compared the full stroke with a jab. For example, if you're a boxer and you jab, you jab like this. So no, all right, let me do it. You can't see it. That's better, I think. No, the other way. There you go. All right, so if I jab, I don't just pull it out and pull it back in. My speed comes from for getting back in position, like that. You see, that's the speed. That's your free stroke. All right, so now you take the first one, nice and slow. You're playing it for a while in quarter notes. 1, 2. Let me turn the metronome on tempo. That's my quarter note. And I'm going to run through it a couple times in quarter notes. Then I'm going to go to eighth notes, and then 16th notes, and back to quarter notes. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go to H. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 16s. Come on, metronome. Sometimes these are tough to do with a metronome, but if you don't do them with a metronome, they are going to do you good, but not the way they're supposed to. I got to tell you guys a story about the metronome. When I first started, and this is going to give I don't have nothing, I'm 73, okay, my age away, all right? So what happens was, I just first started drumming, and my teacher said, you need a metronome. Now, way back then, nobody even heard of the word digital. So you remember the wind-up metronomes where, let me go over here. You had to go tick, 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 tick. And I think I paid $39 for that thing. And that was a lot of money back then. All right, so I take it home, I wind it up, I put it on the weight said 100. So here, let's pretend that's 100. Now this is my doing the Buddy Rich book, the quarter notes with the tempo. So it's going tick, tick. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was nowhere as close to it. And I tried and I tried and I tried. So I take it back to the music store and I said to the person that I purchased it from, something's wrong with this metronome. And he looked at me like, okay. So he turns the metronome and he starts playing to the metronome. And he looked at me really strange. I said, well, how come it works here, but it didn't work for me? Little did I know it was me, I mean, at that time. Now, it's hard to like zone in. 1, 2. Occasionally I'll get the tempo at 1, 2, then I'm here at 3, I'm in. But it depends on the day, my mental state, if I'm tired or not. But I should be on it all the time, okay? Hold on. Who is Seth Thomas? Oh yeah, that's the name of, I'm sorry. That's the name of the metronome. Oh boy, hello Matt. So now you want to do the first line in quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. I won't attempt to do them in 16ths immediately. Maybe make the transition from quarter notes to eighth notes. Okay, so this is going to take you on a journey, and the beauty about levels, all right, you have the formation, you know when it's a downstroke, an upstroke, a tap, so on and so forth. And if you're playing this, and all of a sudden, you're here and you got to play an accent, and you're going to go, oh shit, you made a mistake. So what happens if you make the mistake, I always say the levels come out and smack you. So let's look at line 2. And again, I'm going to divide this up. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 for half the measure. You look at 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 3 eighth notes in that, accents in that segment. However, my starting position's here. Okay, the reason why my starting position's here, my first note, a right hand, is an accent, but that has to be a free stroke. 1. Now I have an and coming up, which has to be an upstroke. Then I have 2, has to be a downstroke. And free stroke. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you see how I made the movement, guys? Want me to slow it down? You want to write underneath each one? Yeah, I know that's what it was, Randy. I just remember. You know, it's been 100 years ago, you know? Do we understand the second line? Because come Wednesday, I'd like to hear that. Line 1 through 5. And then we're going to continue to 6 through 15 until we finish this part, this section of the book. How's that sound, guys? You got it, Paul? Now you don't want to you don't want to burn on this. You just want to make sure you're nice and relaxed, just nailing the accents where you're supposed to be. Missed, okay? 1. That's line 2. Any questions on line 2? We understand it? Did I ever send you the sheet where you have the sticking pattern plus the accents? And underneath it you have whatever's a downstroke, a free stroke, and a tap. Did I ever send that to you guys? I don't like to send that out because you have to internalize this. Because, you know, if you're playing something, you know, you don't say, all right, let me take this page out and look at it. No, you internalize it. So that's the first 2. Do we understand it? Where's the other participants? Hoist, Stacy, Robert, Jimmy. All right, Robert understands it. Stacy, Robert, and Jimmy. Okay, we're going to do line 3. All right, line number 3. This has a little bit of a groove or a bite to it. It's a nice one. I like this. I like them all, as a matter of fact. I mean, some are a little bit more difficult than the others, but they all have their own personality and they all have their own reason. Line 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to play it up a tempo a little bit. Imagine doing it at a tempo like that for 3-4 minutes. Now, do I need to break any more of these down, 1 through 5, because I can go on to something else? You understand, Hoist? Okay. Well, that's the levels right there. That's part of the level system. Well, the whole book is the level system. Is that what you're talking about? You haven't done like line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Have you done that, Stacy? He has you working on the levels, of course. Does he give you exercises like I give you? Yeah, 5 is a little tricky. It's a little unusual. 5 was put in its place, so you're going to another level. Now, I'm concerned. I mean, I'm not zeroing in on any one particular, but I'd like to, when somebody asks me something or wants a referral, like to another teacher, I give them another teacher, especially Stacy. Stacy is in Virginia. And one of Joe's students, ex-students, former students, who wrote the level system book. Well, the level book is good. All right, that's okay, Jimmy. The level system, all he's teaching you, I guess, I mean, like I said last night, what I'm teaching is the basic premise. The full stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. Now, that's the basic premise, but they're all predicated upon that formula. If I say, okay, I'm playing very soft, I want to play paradiddles with an accent. So now what happens here is I have to reestablish where my free stroke is, or downstroke. So I'm going to have, instead of playing, that's the motion of a paradiddle. But if I want to lighten the sound up, sorry. There's a free stroke in there, I mean a downstroke, an upstroke, and a tap. Is that what he's teaching you? In the second measure, you accidentally hit the first downbeat with the right. Second measure of what line? What line, Paul? Rudimental remedies. All right. Well, it's all the same. You learn a 5-stroke roll. Well, you see how I took that's part of the level system, where I established where my full stroke was, and my downstroke, and my tap, and my upstroke. That's for dynamics. Rudimental remedies. I don't know if I have that book. I have to check it out. Now, Paul, in the second measure, line 5, in the second measure, you accidentally hit the first downbeat with the right. Line 5. Well, the second downbeat is the left. Let me do line 5. It's a little tricky. So again, where is now arch starting? Right hand is here, left hand is here. Ouch. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I made a mistake. Hold on. It's been a year since I've been in here. Hold on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that should have been a full stroke. You said you accidentally hit a right on where? On the second measure. It's a left. Okay, so time out here then. Hey man, you guys are, it will take you 2 years, okay, to make for me to catch up to your mistakes, because what I make in 1 day, you don't make in 5 years. Trust me. Okay? And yeah, dynamics is why you use the levels. And like I said, Stacy, what I give students, I don't get it too much into detail. See, Jeffrey is a great snare drum player, and Jeffrey has the system down. Now, like I said, I use this, the free stroke, that's for playing loud. The downstroke for playing loud again. The tap, not so loud. Mezzo forte, upstroke. You get in position to nail the full stroke. Now, if I'm playing dynamics, for example, if I'm doing, say, pianissimo, which means very soft, and I have a crescendo going into piano, which means it's slightly louder. So I'm going to do, say, 16ths. So the lower the sound, the less sound I want, the lower my stick is. All right, but the level is there. It's the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke, controlled strokes. We all need to work on it, Paul. I just want you guys to get that down. Now, I sent Randy, did you get the manuscript paper? I sent 100 sheets to you. So when you need to write something down, just print the 1 or 2 sheets out. What I had asked them to do is take page 5, the left-hand side, and write it out in eighth note triplets without disrupting the sticking pattern. Well, you gotta address that habit. You gotta do it slower, over and over and over again. Sleep with it a couple nights in a row. Okay, now that takes care of 1 through 5. We're gonna finish that up, man. We're gonna finish the whole thing up. So really put your face in that. Sit on the drum pad. And Paul, I really don't like this pad. The level system is what gives you the sound. Dynamics is for phrasing. If you really want to get into a book of dynamics, get into portraits and rhythm. All you got to do is just print it out when you need it. It's there, okay? You have to take it from your file. Okay, now, does everybody understand before I close up? I don't want to close up early. Does everybody understand what they're going to have to do for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's not party time. It's work time. Yeah, have a couple hamburgers and hot dogs or Italian sausage on the 4th of July. Get a couple of sticks of dynamite, throw them in the street, and you're over with. It's too soft. I like something a little louder. It's not. It's got a nice feel, Paul. Okay, so we understand how to run down the left-hand side in eighth note triplets with the eighth note triplet field, maintaining the sticking that's there. Randy, do you understand that? You'd like some Italian sausage, huh? Hey, Jimmy, too bad you're Greek. Hey, Paul, Stacy wants some Italian sausage. They have some good Italian places around here. You know, the butchers. Man, you go in there, you got the provolone, the salami, you know, the prosciutto, the bruschettini, the sausage. Oh, and my wife is a really good cook. You should ask Seth. She made a pan of lasagna. I had a pig out on it. You understand, okay, Randy? That's a good exercise. Now, what you want to do, you're going to write that out in the triplet formation, but here's how he presents it. And like I said, if you happen to ever have met him and asked him about Master Studies 1 or 2, it's just an extension of stick control. Now, the way, you know, it's like, and also where that is in the book, in Morello's book, all right, is, what was that, page 40? Yeah, I think. I mean, you know, some of these guys write books and they just want to fill some pages, but this is not filling the page. On page 40, in the Master Studies, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Now, it's actually line 1, line 3, line 5, line 7, and line 6 of the stick control. So all you're doing, and you know how to do it, you guys. You're not, you know, there is no accents. You want to get the same sticking height. Now you want to take that line that you just did, and you want to do another measure, but this time instead of eighth notes, you're doing eighth note triplets. And you're coming down from the same height, so you want to get the same sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now triplets. 1, 2, 3, 16ths. 1. That's what the exercise is. If you combined all of them. He wrote the triplet in 12/8. Why, I don't know. I have to ask one of the guys, Steve Foster, Alan Herman, or Jeffrey, or another guy who studied with Joe. But that's the exercise. And it's presented here only because there's a transition going on from an eighth note to an eighth note triplet to a 16th note. And that's more or less prepping you for the transition for the table of time. You do the table of time. If you can do the whole page, God bless you. All right? I don't want to not wear myself down, but sometimes aggravate myself. Yeah, you get heartburn. Pizza? I can't stand pizza. You come to... That's a good one, Paul. You might get shot. Anyway, you should hang out with the table of time for a while. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to put this on 60. And I don't know how far I'm going to get. I'm going to put you're going to have to watch me do this for 3 minutes. All right, hold on. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to play the table time at 60. All right. I might stop. I'm going to try to. I don't know if I get to the 12s. I know I definitely get to the 10s. And once I get to the 10s, I'm going to go back to the beginning. But see, here's what you need to do with that metronome is play the table time. I'm not going to play line 1 once. I'll play it for a while, get the feel of the tempo. Then I'll do line 2 for a while, so on and so forth. But you will know which line I'm on, okay? Here we go. This is an extremely, well, they're all important, but this is very important. 1, 2, 3, bang, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's enough. Ha! Okay, that was for 2 minutes. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. What's this? Were you guys paying attention or were you having a conversation? You see what I did? Now, I messed up on the 5s again. I'm having a hard time with them today, but tomorrow's another day. Okay? Then you have the accent development. Remember that from the stick control? I mean, from the formulas. Then you have, what was this? Number 43, the linear thing from stick control book formulas. You want to orchestrate it, make a whole thing out of it. I mean, if not, it just sounds like an exercise. Just have fun. Remember that, guys? You understand what I just did there? Okay. I feel like I'm selling you guys short here. Okay, come on. Anyway, you know, it's all year long. We do 4 lessons, 8 lessons a week. And I feel bad I'm only doing 4. You guys are still okay with that? It gives me more time to catch up on the things that I have plus practice. And as you can see, I need it. Okay, if there is no questions, and if there is anything that you would like for me to go over, if you're not sure of this weekend, email me and I'll contact you, no problem. I'll even hook it up just for you. Okay? I don't want you guys wasting your time. You're doing something incorrectly, that's becoming a bad habit, and it's going to remain with you, and it's going to be actually harder to do it correctly. And yes, there is a correct way to do it. That's execution, the laws of physics. Good, okay. All right, so that's good. All right, well, when September comes, we'll see where everybody's head's at. Or, all right, I like to go back to the 8 times a week or a month or a week. But if you're going to be more productive with 2 or 3 times a week, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just right now, it's being home. The kids are home. With this virus bullshit. And people trying to take over our town. I have to get my gun and shoot them. That kind of shit. That's ridiculous, man. I mean, they got to clean up Chicago, boy, big time. Baltimore, Chicago, Boston. Now New York City's going on the map with that shit. L.A., San Francisco. Oh man, there's so many. I don't know if you guys watched Fox News last night, but I almost cried for that guy. Did anybody watch the Fox News? Sean Hannity had the interview with the guy, his son, that was the 19-year-old black boy who was shot. Did anybody see that? That was heart filling. And that because if you're a parent, you can really, really relate to that. Did anybody watch that? Okay, Robert, Stacy, Paul, Randy, Hoist. You guys have a happy and safe and wonderful 4th of July. Yeah, the media sensationalizes the violence. Well, I'll tell you, if you should watch it, whether you like Fox News or any of the news media, that was an honest interview. That guy, he was a grown man, 50 years old, and he lost a 19-year-old boy. That has to be heartbreaking. And you know what? The police, the mayor, and the governor did not even tell the guy. He had to go to the hospital. They wouldn't let him see his son. I'd flip the freak out, man. They would have you watch me overrun the hospital. Huh. Happy 4th, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Stay out of trouble. Okay, be careful. Wear your mask. The virus is going down. They're saying it spiked. Well, in the beginning when they were counting, they didn't test 500,000 people a day. Now they are. So yes, it's going to go up. All right, I don't want to get into it. The hell with it. All right, guys, have a good 4th of July. Relax, practice, make everybody happy.